Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and we have got a fun Raid Shadow Legends video going on here. So it has been a busy week in Raid Shadow Legends. We've had a lot of new champions being announced, and we also know what the next fragment champion is going to be. Now, I think I may disagree with the Raid Shadow Legends community a little bit here because I'm finding some interesting things in the polling. I love doing stuff like this. I love getting data on what people out there think compared to me because it helps give me talking points for videos and help me evolve my opinions as I cover Raid over time. But I'm really surprised to see that the polling for High Mother Maud ended up kind of being what I thought it would be. So that's not the confusing part. I expected High Mother Maud to kind of grade out as an A+, which honestly, I guess isn't all that accurate. She's probably just an A because of the vast majority of votes coming in here in A. The way that I usually do it is I take whatever the largest category is and then I call it whatever direction it leans in. So in this case, you have more for 16 than you do for 12. So you would lean that in the direction of S, which would give it an A+. But I don't think that necessarily counts when this number is so much bigger than this. You would probably want this to be at least half as much. So you'd probably want this bar to be like right here to call it an A+. So let's just go ahead and let's call High Mother Maud an A here according to the community. So I graded her as an A+, which means the community would have a slightly smaller opinion of High Mother Maud than I did. But where this gets interesting is we scroll up to the fragment champion, and that's going to be the White Queen Ancora, which starts on Thursday. Now we can see both of them are pretty solidly in the A tier, but if anything, we've got White Queen Ancora grading out as higher. We've got a higher percentage in the S, and we even have more in A, 67 versus 64. So the community is saying that High Mother Maud is worse than White Queen Ancora, at least in terms of first impressions. And this was kind of making me confused a little bit. So I was like, am I sure this is happening? Let me host a dedicated poll asking, would you rather have High Mother Maud or White Queen Ancora? And then this is where I really got surprised. I thought this would be really close to 50-50 like we saw in the grading, both of them about an A+, but it is no contest. We've got 68 versus 32, the White Queen Ancora coming out way on top. And in my opinion, I think High Mother Maud is better, so I'm going to go ahead and walk through the whole kit ability by ability, and let's iron down my position a little bit better here because I want to see if I truly do disagree or maybe the community is onto something here and I should evolve how I view these two new champions. So, okay, here we go. We've got High Mother Maud on the left, and then we've got, you can't really see it because I have to go so widescreen to fit them both on here. But on the right, we've got, you can see it down here on the bottom right, the White Queen Ancora, which if they would give us both of these vertical orientation graphics like they have on the left side with High Mother Maud, that would be amazing. I got that off the Raid Shadow Legends Twitter, but they don't have a vertical orientation for White Queen Ancora, or at least not one I could find. But anyway, this will do. We've got the abilities pretty close to each other to grade on a 1-to-1 scale. So, all right, in terms of A1, I don't think it's going to be very much of a competition. I would way rather have the cooldown manipulation that I'm getting over here on the right side with White Queen Ancora compared to an A1 that does a little bit of both sides of attack. You've got the decrease on a target and then increase on your ally who needs it the most. So I do like both A1s, but I'm going to go ahead and I usually do it on a scale of like 1, 2, or 3. So I would probably go 2 pluses over here on the A1 because I really do think manipulating cooldown and helping your team cycle through more abilities is a lot better than doing both sides of the attack spectrum. Then for A2, you've got the chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns and increasing duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn and doing a big heal that scales with her healing. I mean, that's a really, really good A2. And then the A2 on the other side for the Queen, remove all, it's a cleanse, which is nice, but the problem is we get a cleanse on Maud just passively every turn. You do also get the shield that is going to be going on everybody. They both scale on A2 with their HP. I love the buff manipulation and cooldown manipulation. So for the same reasons that I gave 2 pluses on the A1, I'm going to give 2 pluses over here to Maud on the A2. So after A1 and A2, we're basically even. Although I don't know, no, I'm gonna go with 1+, because you do get the AoE cleanse, which I do really like. So I'm gonna go with 1+. So we've still got the queen a little bit ahead here. So for A3, revive all dead allies. That's pretty good, and you get the 50/50 on each there. And then you get the targeted defense or increase attack. I really like that as a revive. But you do also get a revive here on the A3 for queen, but it is a single target, but it also resets their cooldowns instead of an AoE revive. That's a tough one. I'm probably going to go over here because you get the full team AoE, just full revive, and I think that's going to be a little bit better, although they're both really good and it is really close. And there's definitely situations where the revive over on the right for White Queen would be better. Like you're fighting an arena fight and they kill one of your allies. Obviously, that one's going to be better. But if your team is getting wiped, then Maud is going to be better. So they're both a little bit situational, and you can make an argument for both. I will barely go with Maud with 1+. Then on the passive, I feel like we gotta go with Maud's passive here, where you're just constantly removing debuffs from your entire team, and you're also getting heals just passively every turn, and it's targeted. It goes where it's needed the most. Whereas I feel like White Queen's is going to be very, very situational. So she has to get attempted to apply a CC, and then it has to actually land. Like, usually you're going to have like a block debuffs or something, but it has to be attempted, it has to land, and it has to be one of those specific debuffs. And then what she's going to do is she's going to take it away from the highest crit damage and put it on herself, and she's got a chance to kind of mitigate that and get some turn meter back for that happening. And then I'm not really taking into consideration the pairing with White King, because we can't really assume that everybody has a Void Legendary to go with this. So you know what? I'm almost going to go 3+ over here. I'm going to stick with 2 because it is really cool to keep your damage dealer doing damage. So I do like that, but I'm going to go with 2+ here on Maud. Now for the Aura, increase accuracy by 60 and increase speed by 19. Obviously, the all battle speed is definitely better, but is Aura as important as the kit? Probably not, but nonetheless, I am going to give a plus over here for White Queen. So what do we end up with here? We end up with a score of 3 plus signs on the right, and we've got 4 plus signs over here on the left. So just in terms of my opinion on grading the kit, again, we don't know the stats, and we don't know some of the context that we're going to need in terms of testing and base stats and how they scale and all that. So this could definitely change. But in terms of just comparing the two kits and the potential of the general utility overall for most players, I am going to stick with saying that I do disagree with how the voting is going so far, and I would probably vote for High Mother Maud being slightly better, barely. But yeah, thank you everybody for voting in these polls. I love having discussions like this and looking at the data and comparing champions and driving these conversations so we can all learn more together about the different champions in Raid, because there is a lot of them for us to keep up on. So appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy Raid Shadow Legends content, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.